talk about some more Lil Wayne. This is Acid Roots. This is going to be the Carter 2 review. Now, about 10 years ago, rap started to really pick up as far as Southern hip hop was concerned. 2004. Sure, a lot of you remember Lil Jon being all over the place, but once his presence kind of faded in 2005, the throne was for the taking. And so, one of the main people who is responsible for some of the dirty South and that sort of thing, at least 10 years ago, was Lil Wayne. And obviously, he dropped a series of albums, which I reviewed the first Carter, and now I've got the Carter 2. Now, this is widely seen as the best one in the series. There are 4 of them, and, well, I do think it's better than the Carter 1, but I do think that as I continue to listen to music, I'm, maturing because it's not June anymore. So, your brain matures. I see things in a different light than I did then. So I definitely have a different opinion on this than I did on the first Carter. So I'm trying to say this album is pretty much a leaner version of that said record. It's not as poppy. It's not as breezy. And it definitely feels more like a contender for a best rap album for the past decade rather than just living in the moment type hit that's gone in 2 months. So this is Lil Wayne before Drake, and it remains to be seen what else. Well, let's just say that this record is pretty exceptional. So, can you smoke to this? I think the answer is yes, you can. There's a song specifically for it. Fireman. I definitely think you need to look at that one. Lock and Load. Best Rapper Alive. Hustler Music. It's not Hustler Music, actually. It's Hustler Music. I'm a D-Boy. Money on My Mind. These are all some great ones. You might try Mo Fire too. That's another one. But those are just a few great smoking songs. Best ones, Fireman, Lock and Load. Best ones to go to. The production, I like it. It really, like I said, it's a lot leaner. And, you're going to notice that immediately in Fireman. It sounds like sirens are going off. And that's really inescapable. Best Rapper Alive has some rock sound, but it works extremely well. Money on My Mind kind of sounds like Southern hip hop a lot. I think that's another go-to one. The Mob is a really good beat. Hit 'Em Up is another one. Lock and Load's one of the best on here. And I think Wheezy Baby. So those are some great ones. Now, the Unheard Songs, I am going to talk about some of the stuff on this album. So there's 16 songs, and I liked 9 out of 16. Now, this is extremely well, but we'll get to that. Money on My Mind, Fireman, Best Rapper Alive, Lock and Load, Oh No, Hit 'Em Up, Hustler Music, Wheezy Baby, and I'm a D-Boy are the best songs on here. Now, out of the other, 7 songs, there are a couple. I'd say The Mob is pretty close to being an almost song, but, some of these attempts at doing like the radio type things, because Lil Wayne wasn't all over the charts before 2005. Some of these other cats were overshadowing this, but this did change. But on the Carter 2, he was almost, I don't want to say underground, but kind of boiling. And this was seen as like the breakout point, I might add. But some of the attempts, Shooter, Receipt, Grown Man, these just don't really captivate me that much. And Get Over is another one that's like this. So that's about half the songs I didn't like. Mo Fire, I just didn't like the beat. The Mob, it was too dramatic. And I'll add the Hustler music's pretty dramatic too. Um, and then that's about it. Really, you'll just have to listen to the other ones I didn't like. But I'll talk about some of the really good ones, like Best Rapper Alive. The lyrics on here, he can do it. So you should know from Lil Wayne's mixtapes that he's capable. I'm thinking about reviewing Dedication 2 because this was also around this time. It was between these two projects that really had him huge, like in 2006 and shit. But Best Rapper Alive, solid beat. Fireman, best song on here just about. Hustle Music has hook, really great hook. And Wheezy Baby is kind of like a great album cut, one that you may not have heard as often. I think you need to check this out. Money on My Mind. Uh, I just like that one. I like the production on it. It's pretty. That one's kind of like a song that was, kind of popular, I'm thinking. And then Lock and Load I really like too. So, these are all extremely good ones. So, the score, because I like 9 out of 16, I'm just going to say, I'm going to give it a 6.5. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 because, 9 out of 16 is a little bit more than half, but still, I don't want to say, oh, it's an 8 just because, half the album isn't as good. This is better than the Carter, but then again, I may listen to that again. And 6.5. The future, I'm thinking Lil Wayne dropped music this past year. He's going to drop No Ceilings too. And then on top of that, it's rumored that he's going to drop a mixtape with 2 Chainz. So I'm liking this collaboration stuff, as you can probably tell. I would like to see this. And is it social? I'm going to give it a 7 social, and I'll give it a 6.5 social, just because besides Fireman, a lot of people are going to be kind of wondering what are some songs to head towards just because it didn't really chart that well. So I'm thinking, some of the ones would be like Best Rapper Alive, Money on My Mind, Hustler Music, Wheezy Baby, I'm a D-Boy, but, it's really scattershot as far as, like, chart-heavy appearances, which just makes this album, it gives it an extremely weird feel. But you'll just have to deal with that. Pay attention to the songs I told you to look at. Can it be topped? I think the answer is yes. But I give this album 6.5, 6.5 social. Subscribe for more fun.